You've tuned into the Bellingham Podcast for the week of August 15th, 2021. This is a very smoky 197.
198.
This is a very smoky 198.
That'll be great.
From that, this is not Overcast, City by the Salish Sea. I'm AJ Barce.
And straight out of 98224, I'm Chris Powell. On this episode, in this COVID era, there is an acronym that we've all gotten used to, PPE, that stands for Personal Protective Equipment. Well, AJ and I on this episode, 2 away from 200, are going to be talking about another PPE, Post-Pandemic Everyday Carry. I made that all one word. We hope that, here comes another PPE term, that we have some pretty popular explanations for some of the things that we cart around with us, and we will hope to be able to provide some, here comes one more PPE, persuasive perspective. Enjoy! This, ladies and gentlemen, was my last PPE reference, and this is also the Bellingham Podcast.
That was a pretty perfect intro, Chris. How you doing?
PPI works out just fine. I am like smoking a pack of cigarettes without even lighting up. We are recording out of doors with the air quality listed as
moderate.
Good inside.
Yeah. We're in the yellow, rising up to red.
Chewing the air. How about yourself, AJ?
I've been better, but had some time off, so came back from the mountains. So I was feeling pretty good up until the smoke,
Yes.
Which I think at the top of the show it goes without saying. If you're in the Pacific Northwest, please do take care of yourself and don't goof around with all this bad air quality. I think by this point we've kind of gotten used to it, unfortunately.
It's something around this season, yes. And if you're not living in the Pacific Northwest, both AJ and I are of the mindset that you should be taking care of yourself as well.
Yeah. We've got a lot of fires. There's the British Columbia fire.
Yes.
We've got here in our backyard in Washington State, on the east side, I think we've got a fire up near Leavenworth, Wenatchee
Eastern
area.
Washington zone, yeah.
And then there's the one down south in Oregon, I think. And so we've got a collective of smoke.
It'd be toasty, and our windshields are starting to get little particles on it.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get to the matter at hand.
Yes. So at hand today, we have a double header ahead of us.
Yes.
And that is, we've wrapped up our, wasn't 6 parts, Chris, it was like 7 or 8 parts of our Coming Back to Bellingham special mini-series.
Yes, it was fun.
And so now we're going to wrap up before we get to our big 200th episode, and we're going to do a topic that is near and dear to Chris and my heart, and that is this EDC, this everyday carry stuff.
Revisiting something that we both enjoy individually and together in collaboration, just to see what the heck are we carting around as we're getting out and about in Bellingham and actually working from home in a lot of cases, and what do we take on the road and other areas like that. Yes.
And that's the impetus to this, is because in this post-pandemic or hybrid or high flex era that we are now moving into, the things that were everyday carry for Chris, myself, and even for you, dear listener, has probably greatly changed. We all carry a mask of some sort, or a face covering of some sort.
Pop quiz, AJ. What mask are you carrying with you?
I just put it on the table, actually. This is actually one of my picks. This is by Cotopaxi. I don't remember what they call it. I think it's the Tekka mask. It's just it's brightly colored. They have lots of different colors.
Reversible, it looks like.
It is. It's reversible. And the thing about Cotopaxi is they're a do-good company, where like 10% of are certified B Corp. So they're eco-friendly, and they also give back a good chunk of their proceeds for their stuff. But the other thing I like about Cotopaxi, I'll talk about them later, is their fabrics and stuff that they source. They also do their own reclaiming of fabric. So as they make product, they use the end run cuts for other products, and these masks are part of that. So
our listeners can't see what I'm seeing, but on one of the reversible sides of your mask, it has a wonderful message. It says, "Do good."
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, can we please do more good
in
this world? It's a great message as you are bopping around this beautiful area, albeit smoky. It's a good message to be giving people as opposed to other messages.
What about you, Chris? What mask are you rocking?
I will tell you in a minute, but I have a follow-up question.
Oh, sorry. Follow up away.
You gave a great sales pitch, although we have not received any funds from the fine folks at Cotopaxi. Where would one pick one up if they were interested?
So you can order them directly from them. And actually, at least at the time of this recording, most of the time when you order any of their packs and stuff, usually there's a promo where you can get like a free mask or 2 from them. But if you want them here locally, the co-op, the REI actually sells these if you wanted to grab one.
Recreational Equipment
Incorporated.
That's right. My masks. So I've acquired a number of black masks.
Really?
During
Black?
yes, hasn't everybody? But anyway, my beautiful daughter, as she is preparing to leave Bellingham to take on her next year in college away from us, sniff, sniff. We will be missing her. She wanted to get armed with some masks for the upcoming academic year, and she found some really cool ones on Everlane website. And this one has a message on the side. This one's a dark gray, a little bit of a
Ashy gray.
Ashy gray. Thank you very much. I picked one out of the 5-pack that she got because I like the color gray. And it's not only the color of my hair, but it's also my lifestyle choice. But it says 100% human. That's me. So I got an Everlane mask because I want to remember my beautiful daughter when she's not around within shouting distance. And this is a way to be able to do that. So
that's cool.
Why don't we talk about, so we kind of, put our guns on the table, so to speak, and the guns would be our equipment.
Sure.
How do you want to work this, amigo?
So you and I both have work at home, if not hybrid at home employment right now. So what about your attire? I know you always dress in black, but has that, let's start with what we wear, because we did talk about what I think it was even pre-COVID. We were kind of minimalizing that we were doing, like I mentioned the 40x4, whatever that movement was.
Oh, it was Project 33.
Project 33.
33 items for 3 months.
Yeah, so let's
333.
Let's start with wardrobe. Has your wardrobe changed?
So I'm laughing, ladies and gentlemen, just because my job is a cerebral position, and it really doesn't matter if I wear a Motorhead shirt, God bless him, Lemmy, or if it's a Motley Crue t-shirt, or if it's something else like that. So it's my voice as I narrate asynchronous screencast support videos for my clientele, or if I'm meeting with them via Zoom, I'll throw on a collared shirt. But otherwise, I dress for comfort. And in the summer season, the warm season, it's usually jean shorts and a sleeveless black shirt. God help us. And I just have it around. And oh, by the way, when I'm done with the workday, I can hit the gym, and I've already halfway dressed to get the workout on. How about yourself, AJ?
So for me, nothing really much has changed beyond that episode that I mentioned. I retooled my wardrobe to this brand on the Zon. It's this company called Good Threads. I like right now I'm wearing their shorts. It's kind of like this twill fabric, cotton fabric. They're just nice casual but business casual shorts, and then this kind of Henley shirt that's a short sleeve shirt because I always run hot because I'm half Italian. And that works great because, much like you, I also have a cerebral job, but I'm on camera a lot more. So I wear the same pro tip. If you have to do a lot of training videos, or if you have to do videos, you want to wear the same shirt, because if you have to do a recut, or if you have to edit something, if you wear the same thing, people don't notice.
Hashtag continuity.
Yep.
If I could also offer another pro tip, this one's a little nerdier than your choice of attire. If you're going to be given a demonstration or doing something where you have your computer screen and you're going to be moving the mouse around, things like that, do yourself a favor. Create another account on your computer and just call it presentation. Yep. Save that, and it's gray background, or it's very plain setup with not a lot of customizations that you may have on your typical use computer profile, and have a bare bones browser, because you're going to save yourself a lot of headache when you may be trying to share something and people are like, that doesn't look like my computer or my browser, because you have a different setup. Start with the bare bones.
Yep. I'll even add to that, actually.
Please do.
This is actually a recent thing with me. Let's say you're in a high security setting and you are giving a presentation, and you, for OPSEC, like you can't, or PERSEC rather, let's say you have yourself that you're not to disclose, say, your last name, and you have your Chrome browser, and up in the top right-hand corner, when you click on things, it has your first and last name in a live presentation.
Yeah.
I actually saw that recently.
Oh, that's a no-no.
So just keep that back in your mind when you are, even if you're not doing recordings like Chris and I, like even if you're in a call, be aware of what browser you're in. Even if it's on the company computer, they may still have your authentication pass through.
And also along those lines, if they've got your, your ID for your browser, you might also have a bookmark for 102.3 FM KMRE.
Yes, and if you broadcast on KMRE or KMRE.org, it is worldwide, so everybody will hear it. They won't see it.
Absolutely. And Saturdays at 3 p.m. Pacific time zone, they broadcast our episode that you're currently listening to for about a half hour or so every Saturday. We thank them for that. Let's move on.
So from there, let's talk about because you and I have to go into the office every so often. And what are you doing to schlep your stuff before we get to the smaller bits and bobs?
I'm going to talk about what I used to do before being assigned to work remotely from my home. I had a backpack. And we've talked about backpacks in the past. I've gone
really bags us
yeah.
Never.
Yes, I'm a recovering bagaholic, and
hi, Chris.
Yes, exactly. I decided upon after trying many ways. I've just had this 511 Rush 12 Urban Tactical backpack for a number of years. It just seems to carry a whole lot of equipment. I carried that with me. Plus, I could have my gym clothes in that as well. I don't really need, my commute is not miles and steps to the office. And so now I have 20 steps from my bedroom to my guest room for my commute, or maybe upstairs to, from eating breakfast. And so that commute really doesn't matter in this case. However, when I go out and about, and sometimes I actually go to some of our fine coffee shops and other places with wireless, or I decide to make my phone a wireless hotspot and go somewhere nice when I have some shade. I have stripped down the bare necessities to the barer necessities. What used to be a laptop and an iPad with keyboard and a whole lot of things, I made the purchase of a very small sling pack. And in the past, I had a messenger bag from Chrome Industries. Still have it. It's from the black Chrome line, and it's all black naturally. But what really gets me about Chrome Industries is they took, as part of their story, when they first got started in their prototypes, they took an old Oldsmobile seatbelt as part of the strap connector.
Yeah.
And I love, first of all, I grew up with Oldsmobile and those General Motors cars growing up in the days of my Ute.
Same.
And that click just takes me back to when my parents would drive me around and I was in the back seat. And I got a Chrome Industries black chrome 22X cadet sling. And this is a 9-liter bag for those of you playing at home. It is all black, very slim, yet I can store with me a notebook, and I'm going with an A5 notebook, either Leuchtturm or Midori MD A5, just to write stuff down. I tried the journaling thing, folks. You've heard about my dalliances over the 5 years we've been doing this show, but 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years, dude.
Crikey. I've been trying to journal for a while, but it's just mainly writing stuff and making lists and getting stuff out of my head. And I'll talk about some of the other items later. But for me, it's a little bit of a sling with that beautiful seatbelt. I'll demonstrate it for you right now. Upon awesomeness, make sure that your safety...
Buckle up for awesomeness.
Buckle up for awesomeness. Yeah. So anyway, that's my cadet sling from Chrome Industries. AJ, take it away.
Yeah, I like your sling, and I have to describe also. It's a narrow sling, so it's like a quiver on your back.
Yes.
It's because the reason why I'm prefacing that is for me, I've gone back to an old bag that I've had. And it's an REI sling. I don't think it has any fancy terms for it, but it's wide enough to carry a 15-inch MacBook Pro.
There you go.
And the reason why I point that out is because for parts of my job, I've had the privilege to be able to work remotely in various places in Washington State. And so for me, I have to carry a little bit more kit when I'm on the road. And so I've gone back to that because it carries my very aging MacBook Pro 15. And with it, I can carry the Shure MV5, which is what we record on still. Because
after 5 years.
After 5 years. Shure, you really should reach out to us. But anyway, no, I really like that sling for two reasons. One, I don't have the cool, awesome clicky thing. It just has the plastic, normal 2 prongs and it clicks together clasp. But the nice thing about that is I can carry my MacBook, I can carry my microphone, I can carry just an Anchor power brick USB because I have an aging original iPhone SE from when it first came out, and it will be come the fall, the next Apple announcement, I've already relegated myself. I'll be getting whatever the iPhone 13, 12 Plus, whatever the heck it's called.
And we'll do a show about phones in the near future,
Yeah.
because we'll have new phones since the time of the recording to discuss that.
Sure. But no, the reason why I point out that ecosystem of the laptop, my microphone, and my aging iPhone with an anchor is because that sling, I can, it has two kind of mesh pockets on the outside where I can put a water bottle, has on those same two sides, two zippered pockets. So I can put my power brick on one side and then the power bank from Anchor on the other. And then in the front on the strap is a dedicated holder that fits my iPhone. And that's how I usually go about when I'm just going across the state or whatever, or on my motorcycle. The detachable sling strap allows me to take it off of my leathers, because if you've ever had to ride a motorcycle and you have leathers, especially on hot days, the last thing you want to do is take the sling off of your shoulder and over the top of your head, especially if you have a helmet.
Preach.
So that's the reason why I like it. And I've also used it for outside of my motorcycling, but bicycling. During the pandemic, I've done a lot more biking to get around here locally, which has also been nice. Not on days like today where it's smoky, but the REI sling, I'll try to find because I don't think there was any fancy name for it. It's not called like the black chrome or anything like that. But if REI makes anything like similar to it, I'll put a link in the show notes. But I haven't seen it in several years, but I've gone back to it.
Sure. I think we've arrived at a place having gone all over the map when it comes to cases for our everyday carry. If you got to transport a laptop or other bulky gear, you got your backpack. Mm-hmm. If you want to travel light, which I often do, and in some cases, my sling may be able to hold an iPad, like the slim style, even an iPad Pro, the slimmer ones, not the big beasties of the 12.9 ilk, but those iPad minis are looking kind of interesting.
Yeah, the mini would fit in your bag.
It has, as does the iPad regular size that I'm currently.
I don't think a Pro would fit in that quiver.
The 11 does.
Really?
I've taken that, but it's a stretch, and I don't like stretching the zippers. Okay. But yeah, 9 liters goes pretty quickly when you're taking that. But use the right tool for the right kind of mission, and most of my missions involve getting a little bit of peace of mind, and I just bring my phone with me and some analog tools that we'll get into in a little bit. But yeah, that's kind of the case for what we're bringing in with us.
Cool. So the other thing I want to throw out is what's in our pockets.
Yes.
Because you emptied out your pockets very quietly while we were recording. And so I'm going to start with wallets, and we'll go forward.
Cool.
So the wallet that I have is one that I made. So I'm it's kind of a cop out. It's a minimalist wallet it's a bifold. And it's wide enough to carry cards, and then I can fold a couple of bills, and that's it. I made it out of leather, sourced from the former Found Leather Goods when.
Hello, Nikki.
Yep, when Nikki was still in business. So I had some of her remnant scraps, and I made it myself. So.
Very good. And by the way, I admonish you, dear podcast partner, for calling that a cop out. Yeah. You made it yourself.
Okay, well.
It's worth it.
Sure.
It's got a story.
Yes.
You just shared the story.
I can't put a link to it, though.
Well, drink anyway. All right. So I've got I still have my tinfoil hat in many ways, as you will get to know me, or if you've already gotten to know me. My wallet is a slim wallet. This doesn't have a whole lot of stuff. This is on the opposite spectrum of George Costanza's wallet. Her. There's the wallet reference we all know and love. This one's by Silent Pocket. Silent Pocket is a company that makes a whole lot of RFID, radio frequency identification protective gear. And I have my driver's license, a form of payment, another form of payment, and another card that in case I need to brandish, I show them. You can use your imagination on what that would be. I also have my insurance card. That's it. That's all, folks. If I have any cashola, and I really don't do a lot of cash nowadays because not that I'm a fan of the digital payment society, but I just haven't been out and about. And hey, I like air mile points. So
valid.
I have a very slim wallet. And when I walk into retail stores, not knowing what kind of surveillance I'm going to be under, any kind of information about my cards or the plastic they're in is blocked. Next.
Okay, so along the same lines of pocketry, I've got mine around my neck, but I do keep it also in my pocket and everywhere. So I followed this company when they first launched. It's called Contonement.
Spell that, please.
Cantonment, Contonement, and they make these handkerchiefs. I don't know what else to call them. actually, I won't call them a handkerchief because I'll call them a kerchief because it's bigger than a handkerchief or a pocket square.
Could be a headband.
But it's smaller than a bandana.
There you go.
And Cantonment, the reason why I think I first heard about them off of the Grey NATO podcast. I think Jason Heaton mentioned bringing this out to a trek that he did.
Konnichiwa, Jason.
Hey, Jason. So the reason why I tuned into it was the fact that its size and stuff, and it doubles. It can double as a quick mask, which has helped me as we're in this weird flux of some stores require masks, some don't.
Yep.
So it's big enough you can tie as a mask, but it doesn't look like a bandana. I usually kind of wrap it as like a neck kerchief. So like you'll see some French folks that'll wear like a kerchief kind of just tied around their neck.
It's a neckband here in America.
Yeah. But the thing about this is it's really soft. I think this is almost like a rayon cotton or something.
It looks like it's got some double stitching or hard burly stitching on the border.
Yeah.
So it doesn't curl up on you.
Yep, and it comes with this thing called a woggle. So the entire packaging also is like super eco-friendly. It's just basically a cylinder that this came in, and they come in pairs, and they're themed. And as you can see with mine, I've got this red one. This is part of their optics, I can't remember, pattern. And it's the schematic to the top plate of like an old Canon AE1 camera.
Ah, yes.
So
I was wondering what all those the knobs and things were for. Those are f-stops, huh?
Yeah, close. That's actually your shutter speed.
Oh, this is actually the shutter speed.
Yeah. So
yeah, I knew that.
But they have different themes. So they have like an automotive theme. They've got a guitar theme, music theme. They've got a watch theme, of course, and they even partnered with Mark II, MKII, to do a special edition for their watch, the Tornik Rayville. But they really, for something as simple as a square of fabric, they did something that like it's themed well. So like for me as a photographer, I have the photography one. They've got these little notches on each of the corners so that you can double this as like you can hang it off of their woggle, off of your belt loop, or lots of different ways that you can use this.
It's definitely multifunctional, and so we don't have this in our show notes, but I'm gonna implore you to add the link to the website.
Yeah, I will.
Cantonment, and we'll hopefully get hey, folks at Cantonment, please tell us the correct pronunciation of that.
Cantonment.
Okay, because there you go. So looks like it's good quality for multifunctional purposes.
The reason why I keep this on me, either it's around my neck and I keep it wet, especially when it's hot out. The thing that saved me is I have my son, and obviously unvaccinated because he's under the age of 5 right now. And as we go out, I can't tell you how many times as a dad, he's forgotten his mask. So I can take this out of my pocket or off of my neck, hand it to him, and he has a mask and we can go in. Or when we're up on the mountain, he's taken this up to Baker and stuff. It's just, I never thought like a square of fabric would be so helpful. But in this post-pandemic, I never leave the house pretty much without one.
And it makes him look cool when he wears it.
Oh, dude, he calls it his adventure scarf.
Adventure scarf. Yeah. Well, folks, I would say check out Contonement.com or whatever. AJ will get you the link for that for an adventure scarf. I've got some things in my pockets that I carry with me in my front pockets because I always am deathly afraid of getting pickpocketed without being aware. So my wallet is usually in the left pocket. Hi, pickpocketers. I also have a key fob with my little trusty titanium little thing that goes over the top of the...
Yeah, describe this for me, because like it looks like a key meets almost like the half of a part of a pocket knife.
Yeah, so here's the key stuff that I have. I have 3 keys on my key ring and a fob to my vehicle that I'm not going to tell you about. But this is
Maserati for the win.
Sure, that's it. The McLaren F1. Thank you very much. So this is a titanium pickpocket by a wonderful company whose name I forgot because I bought it so darn long ago. It's just become part of my EDC. And I slipped this over my right pocket fabric, but it also has a bottle opener in there.
Nice.
And it just sits there and it doesn't jingle the keys. All my professional career, ching, 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 I would not be able to be ninja level quiet. This helps out with that because it kind of keeps them above the rattling in the pocket. I also have added something to the right pocket next to it, which might incur a little bit of clang to it. I have a Benchmade Griptilian. That's the sound of it opening. Knife that is high quality, and this is in the BIFL category, Buy It for Life, along with my watch. Yeah. I have a couple of items and my pen that I could talk about in a little bit. This is a beautiful piece of machinery for my little EDC knife, just in case. It doesn't have to always be a letter opener. We have many things for that, but there are times when you need to be able to slice open a wrap of some sorts or some type of something, and it's there for me when I need it.
How big is the blade on that?
It's less than 3 inches, but I am not taking it with me to the airport because
No.
I do not want someone from TSA taking this thing away from me, because I will, without a doubt, get feisty if they take my knife away from me. So anyway, probably not a good idea to bring that anyway.
No.
Anyway, AJ, what's your knife of choice?
So my knife of choice is actually a recent acquisition, because I ran into the situation where I did not have the right tool for the job. And so since we've done the show, like I've basically been always carrying a French knife called an Opinel. And they're great. They have a wooden handle, very non-threatening, non-tactical looking. Because that's my scene. And recently, because my wife has gotten into bubbly waters and stuff out of the bottle, and she really likes Topo Chico, which I think it's out of Mexico.
Topo Chico?
Yeah, Topo Chico. Just bottled mineral water that's bubbly.
No speak soda.
Well,
only seltzer. Sorry.
Here's the thing. They don't have a screw top. You have to actually pop top it.
Yep.
And so I didn't have a cool keychain pickpockety thingy like you've got. And the Opinel blade, you can't do the trick with it because it's to open up a bottle because the blade's too thin. So I had to go looking for a new tool. And so lo and behold, Leatherman, the fine folks that make the multi-tools, they have a line called their Skeletool line, which I have. I have a different Leatherman that has like scissors. It's like a Swiss Army knife, has multiple tools on it. This is a pocket knife version of their Skeletool, and it's not. It does have a click, but not as flicky as yours.
There you go.
Sub 3-inch blade has. You can get it with a partial serrated edge or a straight edge all the way down. But the clip that goes on your your pocket. It has the clip, and at the end is the bottle cap opener. It has been the greatest tool I've bought in a while, and it's just got the standard torque so that if you break your blade, you can get a replacement, etc. It's an actual tool. So
ubiquitous.
Yep. Yeah, that's my new acquisition.
The final item of my EDC is a rather new one. I have a sheath for it in my that I purchased from the Saddleback Leather Company. This is a Bear Trap leather pen holder. But inside here is, I'm handing it to AJ right now. There's a company called Big Eye Design, and they have a pen called a TI Ultra. It's made out of titanium. I got the stonewashed kind. The thing I like about that one, that's the grippy part of that. It is an adjustable ballpoint pen holder that can take about 750 replacement pen things, and it also has a fountain pen medium nib. I believe I got the medium nib that you can switch out. So I have 2-in-1 for this. It also has a cartridge ink thing. And I really have found my BIFL, Buy It for Life pen, because it writes well. As AJ's able to give you the sounds of it opening and closing, this is what I do my analog writing with.
This is great. It's great in the hand.
This is not one of those that you can find in your typical big box office store. This one is made by the company, and and this is not something that we would be suggesting for the economical choice.
No, but the thing about this that I like is, you're right, the top part that has the adjustment so you can put whatever nib you want.
Yeah.
I've not seen that in another pen.
That's the innovation behind the Big Eye design.
I love it. And it looks like it's, for the watch fam, it looks like it has some water resistance. It does have an O-ring.
It does, and replacement O-rings that come along with it. But I'm very pleased with it.
You know what's not in our EDC?
What's that?
A fork.
You're right. By cracky, we haven't gotten those forks, but I tell you what, we should stick a fork in this episode and continue this in the next episode. Just chill till the next episode.
Yep. Hopefully the smoke clears up. And thank you again for listening to us, rating us, reviewing us wherever you like to get our podcast. Remember, if you are in the Bellingham area, you might be listening to us on Camry 102.3 FM.
And we sure hope you are wearing something to protect yourself from the particles of the smoke fires. And then listening to us 102.3 FM and at kmre.org, especially Saturdays at 3 p.m. when they broadcast this darn show right here.
Oh, yeah. And on that note, please do look after your lungs. I'm AJ Barce.
And I'm Chris Pell. Thanks once again for joining us on the Bellingham Podcast. We're 2 away.
2 away.